So, 5 years of Genshin Impact means I've been playing it for around 5 years, and in that time, I've probably accumulated somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000 hours, and have probably spent around $1,500 to $2,000, which means an average of $30 to $40 across 60 months. Usually, I spend between $5 and $15 per month, but sometimes I would spend higher on banners if I had disposable income for it. Now I'm going to show off the map first. This is where you start the game. This is my modern team that I use. When I first started playing the game, my team looked something like Chongyun, Xiangling, Fischl, who I'm still using, by the way, in my main team, which is kind of cool, and Barbara. But this is what it is now as my daily driver. This is a starting area, and I'm just going to make it quick because I had recorded this before, but it took too darn long, so I'm re-recording it. Show off all the areas in accordance. Now these are all 100%. However, that is rounded up, simply put. So it is not a true 100%. I still find chests to this day. And supposedly chests respawn, which I believe. I used to not believe that, but I've seen chests in areas where I knew I had them. So do keep that in mind. I have all the areas mixed out. I have actually maxed out Serenity Pot. This is just a placeholder. I was waiting for all the Natlan furnishings to arrive. So first I'm going to show off the archive. Oh, not that one. That doesn't, that's a lot in there. I just want to show off this archive. These are all the characters I have skipped, so I'm going to go through the stuff really fast, so feel free to pause instead of me talking a lot and showing off everything one by one, which took an hour and a half to do. All right, and here are my weapons. They are all equipped by someone. Every character I have, all like 80-ish characters, I think I have around 80 or something like that characters, has a level 90 weapon. These are not level 90 because these I already had them R5 level 90. These are duplicates that I'm going to feed into other stuff. I don't do duplicates personally, but most people should. I just don't like the clutter, especially since I have so many weapons. I have artifacts on everybody. Not a single person is missing artifacts. I have over 500 level 20 artifacts. And I have about 120-ish, 140 something, 150-ish that are just not leveled yet. I was able to get rid of a bunch of artifacts in the recent update because they revealed the fourth hidden stat, and a lot of the things had a bad fourth hidden stat. So I got rid of like 500 to like 800, maybe 1,000 artifacts. Some absurd amount of artifacts I got rid of there. Bunch of mats. Bunch of the bosses that are recent I don't have too much mats for, but the other ones I have a lot for. Some foods. I have all the 5-star foods crafted. All the billets you get from weekly bosses and some local specialties and some fish. All the gadgets. Quest items. I've done most of the quest item related trophies or chests, rewards, and whatnot. There are more furnishings than most of the other tabs combined. There's so many furnishings in game. I guess we go on to just straight up the characters. The ones that are favorited are the ones I use like consistently enough. So I actually do use most of my characters. I sometimes use the ones that aren't favorited, but that's mostly for like the theater or like co-op. I'm not going to show all their weapons that they have selected because you could have seen that before and you could have seen the artifacts. Just know that I generally have the right artifacts and stuff on right people, but for certain people that I don't use that much, I'll just have a placeholder different set. So I'm going to show off the constellations. Trying to get her C2 when she gets a rerun, or at least I can guarantee her C1. This is my only limited edition 5-star at C6, and the only character I have at level 100. Thanks to getting too many D-Luke and Kaching cons. since they are also C6 along with Tainari. These are my only other 5 stars at C6, and those are standard. So yeah. After this, I'll show the talents. Like I said, there's no need to show the weapons or artifacts since I miffed through it real quick. Miffed, I don't know if that's not the right word. Zoomed through it real quick. The sake of brevity, I would like this be under 30 minutes long instead of an hour and a half. Yep. Alright, and talents. Everyone is 999 talents. Quite a few talents are crowned. Quite the noise. I could probably actually show off the artifacts. I just won't be too long about it. Now I'm actually on a good pace. Oh, there we go. Make sure that skip them. All right, since I did this in 7 minutes and I don't really have anything else to show you, I will show off the stats and artifacts. I'll be quick about it though. Let me zoom through the artifacts and then I'll zoom through the weapons. Okay, not everyone's gonna have the ideal set on, and some people will have certain sets. I think I clicked through those way too damn fast. Oh well, you can see the set bonus on the right. That'll let you know. Remember, if at any point in time you have to, you can just pause. I'll show off the weapons I have selected for who. Some artifact sets I just switch between people. Some weapons I switch between people. So just because they're on these people doesn't mean they stay on them forever. And I have some 2-piece sets and whatnot. It's also a way for me to keep good artifacts held onto people, or to hold artifact sets for future people I plan to get. So I just leave artifacts on someone in the meantime. Like a 4-star that I have not favorited and I don't use, I'll just put a set. Like I have Thunder Soother on I believe Charlotte or something like that. That's like, well, in case I want to give Thunder Soother set to someone, I'll swap onto them. I wanted to get her R5 weapon, but it's so expensive, and I've had to skip. I don't really go for weapon banners much. I think the last weapon I went for was Nahida's weapon, so that was back in the Sumeru arc. Well, I went for other weapons, but I went for Mavuika's weapon, and I got, instead of Sitlolly's weapon, I got the damn Jade Spear. Again, another refinement for it. So that's unfortunate. I guess I can do that. Wax on and wax off. Some people will have not much crit rate or not much EM or whatever stat they need, but those stats are typically fulfilled within maybe their 4-piece bonus from their artifact set, or with their team dynamic. Maybe the elemental resonance helps them get some crit rate or EM. Namely for cryo and dendro units. Sometimes people have weapons that will give them certain stats, or they have teammates that will give them certain stats that will fulfill those needs. So people like to look at raw stats and not like active in battle stats. And also there's some constellations and talents and whatnot that also account for things. Sometimes it can have too much EM or too much attack. You can easily end up with too much EM on like Nahida, for example, because she has a soft limit of 800 EM. You generally want to stay around 800, but with certain sets you can get away with 600 to 700, and you can get that remaining 100 to 200 through on battle status effects and buffs. I would not consider myself a whale. I'm just a collector who's been playing for a long time. I'm not like a super collector. I don't collect things to the detriment of my sanity, finances, or happiness, or anything. I have a friend on my friends list who has like a bunch of C6 5 stars and level 100 and all this whale stuff, and like that's too much for me personally. They're a nice person, they just a little too dedicated in my opinion. But yeah, keep in mind, just because they're not favorited and I don't use them much does not mean I don't like them. I like Chongyun, he's my first main. I just don't use him, unfortunately. He's not terrible, but he's not meta per se. But I'll still use him sometimes. It's just much less. It's not like my go-to pick. And Razor is also really nice. I can just swap my Eula artifacts on Razor if I want him to just be an absolute menace. But generally speaking, I'd rather just use Eula. And physical damage is not really a viable strategy. Anyways, can't do this whilst here. There's a 5-star anniversary pet and transportable seat. These are my teams. Doesn't mean I always use them. I just have all 20 slots filled up just with a bunch of different comps and whatnot. I can actually do this if you want a more visual look at it. But yeah, I mean, that's generally that.
In my own work.
Check the description. I will have the link to my Akasha system, which is basically like a thing that lets you view all my stuff. I recently updated that, so everyone should be generally updated. I've done some changes since then. And it won't be a perfect screenshot of what it is at this 5-year mark, because I will update it going forward as per usual, although very intermittently or periodically and consistently. So it won't be indicative of this recording session of where I am now. Especially if you watch it years later, it might be more robust. This will be outdated, this video, by then, but this is more of a snapshot as to how it is right now. I think eventually, once the main story arc, Snezhnaya and Conria and Celestia, is all done, I'll probably retire from Genshin and only play it like maybe super casually or never again, because I've spent too much time and resources on this game, and that is probably better spent elsewhere. Let's see, is there anything else I need to mention? Oh yes, I will also have my spreadsheet that will list all the weapons, constellations, talents and stuff. Although the talent page I don't usually have updated all the time. I'm kind of lazy with it. Like currently I don't have the Nodcry talent stuff listed on there. And I have my EU and Asia client. So I did play on EU and Asia. I started those clients to get 5 stars I didn't have on my main client, but I ended up getting to like AR 55 on both of them, and I was like, okay, I've spent way too much time on these. I don't want to juggle 3 accounts at the same time. So now I only have my NA client. So you'll notice that those clients I haven't played since Sumeru, but I didn't actually grind in Sumeru. I just got Kole as a free 4-star, and then I locked off and never touched him again. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I might do another one of these, a final one, before I like quit the game if I do that, or I just might not. I don't want to make my channel all about Genshin. I have one video on there already, and that's very old and aged. I might not even have it on for too long. I just like the thumbnail. I hope you have a good day. I do plan to upload other videos on here, on this channel, more creative videos. I also have a gaming channel video that does highlights of streams, and I also have a Twitch account if you want to watch streams. Also, don't do it too often. Genshin is partly to blame, and so is War Thunder. But yeah, go check those out. Oh wow.